Welcome guys to another SCPH replay sent in by the community. This one, guys, I've been just looking at deals on this replay, and this might be one of the longer ones I've seen so far sent in. So we'll get into it right now. It is gonna be a ZVT sent in, of course, by the Philippine StarCraft community. Introducing our players here on the bottom right. We got Hellsgate. Maybe this is gonna be the gate of hell for me, as this might be one of the longer games. We shall see. And here on the top left, we got MPpioneer. Hellsgate there asking where Pioneer is from. Pioneer, no, not giving him any info. He's like, stranger danger. I don't want to know. I don't want to care. And just gives him a good luck, have fun back. So we are going to be on Kairos Junction LE. We'll see what these two players are going to be up to, as we already have the standard expansion here for Hellsgate. Going to be on the outside. Extractor going to be built. So a little later on the spawning pool. So this does mean metabolic boost might be at the helm here for the Zerg. In the meantime, MPpioneer playing it standard, going to be building up the Great Wall of racks and supply depots onto the ramp already. And interesting to note, he is going to be building a Marine instead of a Reaper, so more defensive in terms of his opening. So right now, it does seem like MPpioneer might go for a one base all-in. Factory immediately, Marine on the outside might need to, switch him over to the opposite side of the wall. And there you go, the SCV already moving on. But the Marine has still stayed on the outside. It seems like this Space Marine really wants to defend this part of the ramp. Maybe this will be his demise. So anyway, reactor sec being built, and the factory gonna be set on up. So this might be a Marine medevac rush potentially, because the reactor can double pump those infantry really quickly. Interesting to note, MPpioneer not building up the orbit command. He is still on a standard command center. You usually want that for those mules, but this is what is Hellsgate right now. Gonna be looking around on his outside Zerglings set up by the second base, and Hellsgate knowing that, okay, nothing is happening all throughout the game. I can expand for a third one. Greed is good, and the Red Zerg might capitalize on this opportunity. So for now, MPpioneer a little afraid of going on the outside. I know, guys, the outside world is scary with everything going on politically, economically, and the like. Interesting to note, though, MPpioneer did switch things over. The reactor getting the factory over there. So double pump Hellions on the outside. And the time of recording, today is election day, so hopefully you guys were able to vote. I don't really like being too apolitical in my content, so all I want you guys to do is just vote for who you feel is the right candidates. We all have different views, and we may call each other names and things. At the end of the day, we are still of the same nation, so hopefully it is for the betterment of our country. But anyway, I digress. We're trying to up the scene as well in the country for StarCraft 2, especially with the upcoming tournaments as well as the SEA Games and the like. Anyway, supply depot on the back. The starport now. Gonna be trying to pump out that medevac as I predicted. And now here come the Hellions. Just gonna be showing everyone how great MPpioneer and his Hellion Hot Wheel collection is. So Hellsgate though, building up some creep trimmers, spreading it on the outside. Third base though not saturated as of yet. I think this Hellsgate expanded a little too early for his own liking. He decided to expand when his second base isn't even ready to be in full production. So for now, this is basically 300 dead minerals, because he's not really using the larva in the first place to build up some extra drones, to build up some extra units. Instead, he's building some spine crawlers, playing more defensively, and I've noticed that for both players, they're a little afraid of what each other has to bring. Anyway, the Hellions now gonna go for the attack, gonna be burning up those queens. Interesting positioning here for Hellsgate, gonna be a quad queen frenzy, so pretty strong in terms of tanking. The unfortunate thing though for Hellsgate is he doesn't have creep connecting his primary as well as his secondary bases, so the queen's slowly crawling to the ramp, and at the same time not really getting some good larva inject timings on his primary hatchery. Hellsgate still on tier 1 tech, and here we go right now. Hellbats into the fray. Medivacs, of course, going for the heals, and this is gonna be MPpioneer having a really good engagement at the front. Banelings though coming on at the proper time, and the acid just melting faces. Big hits from Hellsgate. And if that didn't happen, that would have been the show. MPpioneer could have been just easily walking on Sunshine, taking the victory. But this time, he's going to be juggling a few of those Hellbats in. The Medivac gets focus fired by the Queens. And the MPpioneer just chasing on the opposite end. The Zerglings now on the outside. The Zerglings cooked to crisps. And I think the note for the Red Zerg is he really needs to run these away and turn them into Banes instead. But no, never mind. He's still gonna try his best, try his luck. And these Hellbats have gotten so much value onto this attack. The drones completely ignoring everything that's going on. It's like that dog within the house fire. It's like everything is fine, everything is awesome. The third hatchery doing absolutely nothing. And we still have an engagement here on the Zerg second base. How long can it go? That's the real question. How long can it go? It might be a final countdown though of some sorts, as MPpioneer completely ignoring these spine crawlers. Instead, gonna be trying to get out of range. The Marine gonna be hero, gets stung not just once. Oh, he does just get only stung once. The Medivac just keeping the heals going, but they are pretty much out of energy. Finally, Hellsgate moving those spine crawlers in position to defend his base. Here come another set of Hellions into the fray, and we do see a quick little load. One Hellion all alone trying to burn up the spine crawlers, gonna get taken down. We do see some Banelings try to hatch, and here we go again. MPpioneer gonna go for the drop on that primary base, forcing the drones to get on out. In the meantime, we do see so much macro behind the Terran, but overall, this is still MPpioneer completely dominating the fight. Look at that, economy-wise, the Terran even still on one base, but has been quite hefty on the economy. The Banelings now gonna get some good hits, but it's just not enough to get any real takedowns. The Queen trying to stay alive. Some more Lover comes on out here on the primary hatchery. The spawning pool getting some damage, and we do see the Queen finally fall. So this might be a little bit of a rock and a hard place situation for the units on this first attack. MPpioneer gonna be trying to burn up the Queen. Here come a new set of Zerglings completely toasted up. And yeah, so now these Hellbats as well as these Marines stuck on the top part of the ramp. The Zerg though completely abandoning his primary, gonna be setting up on the lower ground instead. Some Banelings now gonna be hatched, and these acid spitters were completely clutch a while ago. The fight has not stopped for the past few minutes, but finally, this might be the crescendo. So many hits onto the Hellbats, but they're still alive. Finally, a Queen comes out. But overall, Hellsgate, the biggest loser out of that fight. MPpioneer having the proper composition for all of this. I thought this was a changeling. No, it's one Marine piecing the hell out of here. And after all that, this is finally the time MPpioneer decides, okay, I'm gonna build 2 more bases. So the biggest mistake there for MPpioneer was not building the bases during the attack. He could have fully saturated those and go for the killing blow by this point. So more or less, this is a reset. Both players building up some workers, trying to tech up in terms of their tree. The good thing though for the Terran is he is quite handily in the lead. He's now going to be building up SimCity with these starports, with these barracks, with these factories. And the Overlord trying to scout around. The Marine has had enough of the floating creature, wants to get that takedown there. And unfortunately though for both players, they have neither gone for any of +1s. We have an armory here, and we are gonna get a fusion core, so this might be triple pumped battle cruisers coming our way. Yes, it is Tech Lab now. We're gonna be researched up, and of course these command centers are gonna be very important for the refineries that they can bring. So looking at the units lost, where is that? 4.5 minerals total here for Hellsgate. In the meantime, MPpioneer 2.5. 71 Zerglings dying to the Inferno. A lot of drones singed up as well. So overall, honestly, the Zerg in a bit of a pickle. But MPpioneer hasn't really been able to capitalize after that wonderful attack. And for now, the Red Zerg actually doubling the mineral count. Never mind, gonna be evening things up. But overall, this is Hellsgate now getting a small advantage overall. Look at that, Hellsgate playing it smart. He is going to be building up on top of the tech tree. We got the Roach Warren, of course. We do have the Evo Chamber. He might want to finish up those extractors here and there for the Vespine, because he does want to tech up, and he is going to get +1 on range. So it does mean he is sacrificing the Zerglings to go for some Roach and some Hydralisk tech instead. We'll see if he can get a really good starter step. And yeah, just a quick little reprieve here for both players. Seems like this is the calm before the storm. Have you guys ever had that feeling? You're at the beach, everything is fine, but then the waves just get a little worse, you get a little strong, the sky darkens, and you know this is a storm brewing. It's a really tough time, especially when you're at the beach where it's not really as developed. It's not really a tourist spot, it's more of the remote ones. I remember back in the day, I took a boat to a beach, and then it was like a race against time, that kind of deal, where we had to get back pretty early from our trip because it was a really strong typhoon coming our way. So yeah, could have died there, could have been part of the cast of Lost for some reason. But this time, it doesn't seem like MPpioneer not going to be lost anytime soon. He is going to have a Battlecruiser set on up. Unfortunately though, still not going for those +1 upgrades, and Hellsgate going to be supplied the lock after the assassination of that poor Overlord. You think the Overlords are like, you shouldn't really be hurting them in terms of the scheme of things in the Zerg, but I feel like in cinematic view or in real life view, these things are going to be very, very scary and they might eat you up. So yeah, you just want to shoot them out of the sky. In the meantime, really good pokes here from Hellsgate. He is being very proactive. The Zerglings now going to be hampering a few of these expansion bases, and honestly, MPpioneer not protecting the frontier. This is the problem of the human race most of the time. It's like Wild West, wild anywhere, and you guys are left to fend for yourselves. But MPpioneer will try to intercept these Zerglings. The Battlecruiser so strong with the fast fire rate, and the ATR laser batteries hitting onto the ground. It's just so imposing. And MPpioneer able to defend that one. So Hellsgate, knowing that the Battlecruisers are going to be the tech here for the Terran Armada. In the meantime, Spire going to be researched up. And this might be some Corruptors, or even go for the hefty Mutalist Ball. So we'll see. Oh, tactical jump onto that second base, and the Star Trek showing up here. Reach for the skies, says the Queens, trying to get the hits. Good confusion onto the front line, but unfortunately, the Battlecruiser is still so strong, able to just run on in. But the Battlecruiser not quite low. The Queen's still aiming on up. And here for Hellsgate, he doesn't really have any big anti-air besides those Queens, and they have all tumbled on down. It seems like these Battlecruisers have been watching Game of Thrones, just blowing up Queens left, right, and center. In the meantime, we are going to finally see a cycle of Hydralisk be researched up, but Hellsgate going to be rallying them on the opposite end. So what is this? Is this going to be a potential base race into this game? 30 minutes have elapsed, and we can see that the game has actually come to a point of mid-game, coming on to a later spot. Now, MPpioneer, check out his production and check out his economy. Very banked up, having nothing behind this. So what is he doing? I think the problem here for MPpioneer is when he's on a attack or a defense, he's too focused on trying to micro his units, and now he is going to pay the price, finally going to get a few production ongoing. But as a StarCraft player, you need to be able to balance both your macro and your micro. Hellsgate is doing that quite well, going for the attack. The base race though is still going on, and the drone's going to try to transfer. The unfortunate thing here right now for Hellsgate is he doesn't have too many minerals to come on with a ninja expansion. On the flip side, MPpioneer does have a beautiful primary base to defend. So the Battlecruisers all around. We do see a few Zerglings going for the Nibbles. The SCPs might want to go for a Worker Revolution, but it just isn't happening. Back into the fray, a few of the Battlecruisers cleaned up. 21 kills here for this spaceship, but finally it goes down. The Queens, the Spore Crawlers working together with the Hydras to take care of that. And MPpioneer gonna do the same old thing again. I realize now, guys, why this game is a long one. Because looking at how MPpioneer really plays this is, he's wasting so many opportunities. He could have won a while ago with the Hellbat push. He could have won with a Battlecruiser push. All he needs to do is have things queued up. Rally point over there. Defend onto his base. And then move on in. That would have been the whole army for Hellsgate. But MPpioneer wasting so many opportunities. This is like the second time he's honestly Technically lost, technically thrown the victory away. But it is what it is. And a big thing to note is when you're on 5k minerals, guys, you want to click all the buttons on your armory. You want to click all your buttons on your non-existent engineering bay. So that's a big thing. MPpioneer, now supply blocked. He does have a few bases up and running. He has 6k minerals, 3.6 gas, but he's wasting this one battle cruiser. I think he probably is playing one-handed or something, because he hasn't been doing too much tactical jump right now to the right-hand side. Gonna go for the same old, same old. But this time, Hellsgate is waiting on it. He has Spore Crawlers available. He has Hydralisk trying to slither on, and the Queen's going for the hits already. And this battle cruiser taking a lot of damage. In the meantime, Groove Spine's gonna get built up, and the augments as well onto those Hydras. This does mean that these Hydralisks can slither on in very quickly, can even go for the stutter step. He even has +2 on range attack. This has to mean something for MPpioneer to try and change something up. But goddamn, I think MPpioneer is investing for the future, guys. 6.5k minerals right now. What kind of money is that? Is that like Facebook money? Is that like what? Jack Ma money? Is that like rogue Chinese investor money, like Tencent money? What do you guys think? But I think like 10k would be a pretty hefty score of minerals to do so. I don't know, maybe MPpioneer thinks that if you save up minerals now, you can use it into your next game. But this is what it is. He has an SCV here, and he's really trying to push his expansion. He's gonna go all the way to the right-hand side, so close to Hell's Gate. And in the meantime, gonna be sacrificing his southernmost base. Gonna be a bad time here for these workers, just keeping the bank flowing. This is the true definition of greed, is good and no one to actually use it for. It's like you have all these workers working so hard day in day out, but all this money isn't going back to them. It's just being kept by the rich. It's just being kept in the pockets of people who don't even know what to do with their money anymore. They just want to keep getting more money. Right, this is what this MPpioneer now trying to back on out Hellsgate in the meantime, having a spectacular attack. The battle cruisers though in position to take care of the Zerglings, just really oppressing the little man. That's what MPpioneer is doing so in his gameplay. Fernando, he does see his supply blocked and he is gonna sacrifice some workers for it. Unfortunate timing here for MPpioneer. Hellsgate gonna go try to be in the middle. The Hydralisks are very strong, upgraded up, gonna have that +2. And overall, this is Hellsgate just forcing the command center away. In the meantime, tactical jump here on the bottom right hand side. And what is MPpioneer doing? Wasting these battle cruisers. I'm honestly pretty triggered right now, guys, with this game. Because Hellsgate, he was caught napping on the secondary. And that was MPpioneer's to win. But in the meantime, MPpioneer just wasting so much. Battlecruiser now gonna get torn apart by these Hydras. Sure, it has 19 kills, but Hellsgate is willing to just keep on building and keep on min-maxing his stuff. He is, of course, on the downturn. He only has almost 500 minerals, and he only does have 3 real bases to work on. But in the meantime, at least, guys, he's using those minerals, he's using the gas, he's getting upgrades. And what is this? 2 more command centers being built, still no upgrades. The SCV trying its best tactical jump right now from the battlecruisers, and Hellsgate gonna be trying to run away with that one. MPpioneer, man. I get that you want to expand, want to be the first all throughout the map, but this isn't the way to do so. The back cruisers, while imposing, will have a saturation point when Hellsgate is ready to go. And this just might be a matter of time before the Red Zerg is able to just outmaneuver the Terran. All this makes a big difference, guys. +1 on melee means every nibble of that Zergling hits for 1 more damage, and we have a big swarm of them. It just adds up. Same thing as these Hydralisks. +2 on these can just tear this Hellion apart, honestly. You don't even need to take it. But we do see another set of action. This is one mistake though for Hellsgate. The Overlords are all queued up on the bottom right. He doesn't have any form of movement speed for them, so the supply just floating and they're gonna get taken out. This might be the Zergs losing control, but never mind. The Corruptor's in position with the Hydra. This perfect anti-air composition here for Hellsgate. And all he needs, it's just 1 more unit. He just needs one more unit type to just have a winning composition. But for now, MPpioneer gonna be trying to show him up with some brute force. The Corruptor's trying to get in position again. The Battlecruiser's on the right hand side, and the Hydra is still staying on to the left. Here come the Spines, just smacking them down. Needles are quite painful. If you think about the Hydras, it's like a hedgehog throwing all its spines at you, but they are gonna go fast through the rocks. Here come the Corruptors trying to get the hits, and this is gonna be Hellsgate defending one more time. The Battlecruiser is now trying to retreat, but MPpioneer knows that he is on the back foot. Even though he has so many gas and so much minerals, he's still not producing enough. I think this guy has played way too much NR20, because this is all that's really doing things. The starport with 5 Battlecruisers in production. Of course, he doesn't have anything queued up. The Hydra's now tearing apart the base. And Hellsgate systematically picking MPpioneer apart. Another tactical jump. And we've seen this story before. We've seen how this ends. And it ends with a crew, a valiant one, going down in flames. Goodbye, Battlecruiser. And the Zerg Swarm is on point. Yeah, this is disappointing from MPpioneer, because he had an amazing attack with those Hellbats. Hellsgate making the mistake of just funneling it in those Zerglings. But unfortunately for MPpioneer, he hasn't learned. He hasn't learned. Maybe he will watch this game, look back, and he will know his mistake. Calling him out right now. You do have to work on your macro. This armory shouldn't just be for show. He even uses the energy from the orbital commands for supply depots when he has so much minerals he can build 1,000,000 supply depots and still have change. But anyway, MPpioneer now gonna decide to go for another tactical jump, hampering Hellsgate, who has already moved on from that base. The Corruptors, of course, in position. This is gonna be so much acid hitting. What else? What else could it be? Battlecruisers into Corruptors, same old, same old. He has one composition: Marine, Hellion, Medivac, Battlecruiser. That's it, 4 units. In the meantime, we are gonna get some upgrades. I honestly had enough of this. Let's try to go for a quick little fast forward. We do see the Zerglings just running along here, in and out. Tactical jump again, and it's gonna be the same show. Here we go with the hits. It's the same thing. I think the next 10 minutes is just the same thing. Tactical jump into Corruptors coming, into Zerglings dying, into base defended as the Hydralists are back. There you go. I'm completely casting in ×2 speed because it's the same freaking thing. Banelic's now coming on out. Corruptors and the Hydralists gonna be in position, gonna go for those hits, and we are gonna be in ×2 speed in terms of this casting as well, because we are seeing everything in double time. Here we go with the Corruptors now onto the top right. This should be a cleanup, attempted defense for MPpioneer, and let's go back into regular speed because this might be a proper engagement. The Marines waiting on the left-hand side, and the Baneling hits! Absolutely stellar again from Mr. Hellsgate, cleaning that one up. MPpioneer finally running out of money, running out of space. He doesn't even make real gas anymore, and the mineral count working still in favor of Hellsgate because he's producing as well as investing and harvesting all at the same time. Interesting tech here for Hellsgate though. He is gonna go for some burrow. What is this for? Maybe juggle the Hydralisk, but he has really just decided against defending his base. He wants to go for the killing blow. The Zerglings now trying to come on back. Never mind, here comes the Corruptors and Hydralisk squad. This should be another defense. The Banelings now just rolling on, just being really pesky, really cheeky with their gulongs. And I honestly think, guys, if you see a Baneling, you should just run. You should just run the hell away. Like, a Zergling can still fight. It might hurt a lot, and it might stab you and kill you. Hydralisk as well. It's like a really scary hedgehog. But a Baneling, if you don't get the pop on the acid, you run the fuck away, because you are not going to survive a direct hit from that. These Marines, plated in armor, just get torn to shreds with all the volatile acid. What do you expect to happen? Now the Corruptors gonna be going for the corruption, interesting enough, onto the orbital command. Might be a mistake there from Hellsgate. And this is gonna be Battlecruisers gonna come on the left hand side. I had a feeling though, with a game this long, that this might be not the highest tier of gameplay. So for Hellsgate, right now, he is doing a lot of proper things. But he made a mistake here on the first part. He invested on third base immediately without being able to actually build any drones. And then he went for some static defense when he could have checked up two roaches instead. So a little bit of decision making there for Hell's Gate. He does have the complete package in terms of StarCraft macro and a micro play, and a little bit of knowing what tech tree to go for. But for now, he is stuck on Lair. He could have gone for, you know, a Hive, could have gone for some Night Display, could have gone as well for some Ultralisk instead, just to tank up the shots on the ground, instead of just running along with the Zerglings. In the meantime, where do I begin with MPpioneer? It's been 10-15 minutes, he's been doing the same thing, and what? Wow. Upgrades. A foreign concept. I know there's an attack there on the south side, but wow, upgrades. MPpioneer finally learning after 20 minutes. Oh, the attack's done. Okay, no problem. MPpioneer out on the ramp again. Hellsgate in position though, but doesn't have too much anti-ground. He has to position himself wisely and allow these banelings to get some big hits. I don't know what MPpioneer, man. I just don't know. He has the Marines and Hellbats, but he doesn't have any more medivacs. He's been tossing all his money on battlecruisers when he could have just gone Marine Medivac as well as Hellbats to win this out before the Corruptors even came. Of course, now with the Corruptors, the Medivacs are going to be completely useless, but without any Medivacs in the first place, that means the Banelings are going to get maximum value. This is just a matter of time. MPpioneer slowly running out of money. Look at that. We saw around 7.5, almost 8k a while ago, and he is at a 500. Eventually, guys, everyone runs out of money. Even if you hoard it all, everyone runs out of money. What happens is you run out of sources to work on, and this is gonna be, you know, this is honestly how it works. The foundation slowly falls apart, just on the inside, internal structure damage, and Hellsgate showing everyone what happens when you don't do the right things for your nation, for your dominion. And the Zerg Swarm just nibbling at the buds, getting these hits. This game is over. This game is honestly over. Hellsgate should have this, unless MPpioneer can. Nah, never mind. Even look at this. Starport's doing absolutely nothing. Corruptors running around. SCV's trying to harvest the last bits, and he's not even maximizing his orbit command, not floating it out. What are the upgrades for when you don't have anything behind these? He's just wasting money now. He had 8k a while ago, could have gotten it then. But for now, this is just buying like cosmetics in a microtransaction heavy game. Complete waste of money when he could have gone for some workers instead. It's like, you're hungry and you want to get groceries, but no, you buy that Louis Vuitton bag instead. MPpioneer, man, if you're watching this, you have the right idea at the start, but as the game goes on, you just fall. Tunnel vision, not realizing you can get upgrades. And if you do that, you are gonna rise the ranks because you have a pretty good opening there. Hellsgate on the meantime just needs to be a little wiser on the opening defense. But overall, into the late game, the Red Zerg knowing pretty much what to do. I wonder what tier this is, like silver, maybe gold, maybe even bronze. But yeah, overall, guys, it is always good to give tips to, you know, people who are still learning the ropes. Hellsgate right now showing that he does have potential. MPpioneer in the meantime, I think this isn't the best game for him, guys. I don't think it's the best kind of thing to do. So when you end up in one strategy, you might want to be more creative. In StarCraft, there's so many different options. And for now, both players having no real minerals. In the meantime, let's look at the supply. 7 workers to 15. What is happening? But 43 to 9. Hellsgate having such a distinct advantage, and he's just nipping at the bud so much onto these Corruptors. We do see a quick little ping. Honestly, MPpioneer should call it quits here. What is this? This is all he has. 3 Marines and 3 Hellions. The Zerglings, of course, sacrificed for no absolute reason, as we've seen all day. Corruptors now spitting acid onto the low ground, and slowly but surely that command center will burn to the ground. The SCV still long distance mining. Was the MP Pioneer? I want to see what MP Pioneer has been up to. Like right now, like look at this guy. I don't really think he's has the highest APM. That's for sure, because he just stays on. A little triggering on this game, because damn the initial attack was so good, as well as some of the defenses. The first tactical jump was cool. The Zerg getting the composition that they need to counter out the Valkyries was really cool. But it has devolved into a game where we are just slowly watching the demise of the Terran. But yeah, happy election day everyone. This is Hellsgate, just having some fun. And at the same time, he doesn't really have a choice, because he has all these corruptors. He doesn't have any real minerals behind this. Now we are gonna see a quick little sense of deja vu. Medivacs Marines and Hellbats this time might go for a little bit of a swan song here for MP Pioneer. He can go again to try and cook up a base, but we all know already the Medivacs are gonna be the first to fall. So the Hellions now gonna be transformed up onto their four-wheeled version. In the meantime, we are gonna get a set of Hydralisks here for Hellsgate, as well as some Banelings. The Hellions now cooking the drones. And here we go onto the top right hand side. The Copters though coming on in. And the thing to note is, honestly, like for MP Pioneer, he does have a more imposing ground game. But at the same time, with Hellsgate having all these Corruptors, he can pretty much win any kind of base race, as he's just gonna tear the structures apart. For now, MP Pioneer looking really good. The Queens tried to get on out. It has actually turned into a game that could be won by both players. But I feel like my prediction is still gonna be true as oh no! There you go, Medivac 1 down for the count. Red Cross is gonna be saying something bad about that. The Terran and the Zerg just gonna be in a quick little bit of a standoff. The Spore Crawler is gonna be in position to just take care of the Medivac just in case. And this might be the final countdown, the final fight. Good hits with the Banelings out in front, and it still stitches up a few Marines along the way. The Hellbat now, one left in the front. The Hydralisks and the Queens getting some good heals with those transfusion, and this should be game over. Hellsgate winning the fight, gonna go on the offensive this time. Corruptors just ignoring the Ghost Rifles. The Creep Tumor just gonna be creeping on in. The Zerglings and the Hydralisks right now just gonna be trying to defend. And yeah, here comes Hellsgate, just staring MP Pioneer at the gates of hell. Finally see something new. It's a Widow Mine. It's a Widow Mine in late game, guys. With a game with barely any workers, 4 workers, 215. I don't really know what value this Widow Mine is gonna get unless it gets a wonderful hit onto these Corruptors. But at the same time, Corruptors are quite tanky. They do have 200 HP. There, guys. I'm just gonna give a quick little fast forward. Nothing really happening anymore. He is gonna get rebuilt. He's gonna get revealed. Oh, MP Pioneer. MP Pioneer doesn't have any more command centers. Hellsgate. Big brain play, Corruptors with the acid, and MP Pioneer wasting the last bit of minerals on a Widow Mine that will do absolutely nothing. Doesn't have enough for a new command center. So there you go. MP Pioneer finally losing everything around him for army. There's the game. No GG called. That was way too long. That was way too long of a game for the quality that was. Just a little speechless after all that. So for Hellsgate, that second base defense could have had a lot to be desired for. They need to invest that third hatchery, but if he was gonna do that, he should have decided to go for more units instead, using those extra larvae. At the same time, could have gone into a Roach Warren instead of the Spore Crawlers, not even in a proper position. Luckily for Hellsgate, he got a big hit with those banelings. That was honestly the game changer there. If Hellsgate didn't get that hit, this game would have been over by then, and MPpioneer would have won it, and I would have been impressed with MPpioneer and his play and his opening. But as the game went on, my opinion on the guy is soured. He went for SimCity, built some back cruisers, wonderful first tactical jump. But he kept doing the same thing over and over again. And when you do end up doing the same thing over and over again, people learn. People understand. And while at the start, it's not as many people, people grow. Their movements, their opposition. In the end, MPpioneer suffered for it. It did take a long while. It takes a long while for people to learn their lesson. But in the end, it's Hellsgate with that victory. And that was a little bit of a doozy. Wasn't very tiring to cast, honestly, because there's a lot of nothing going on. I did like seeing Battlecruiser scores, but not to that same extent. I think we've seen what? I can list it in one hand what the Terran built. Marines, Medivacs, Hellion Hellbats, Battlecruisers, and then one with a mine. 5 different kind of units. In the meantime, the Zerg, we had Zerglings, Banelings, Hydra, Roaches that didn't really do much, Queens, Corruptors, and a ton of upgrades along the way. So yeah, you can see diversity might be something you guys want to do into your next games. And again, I do have so many replays, so we will be doing a live stream sometime soon, maybe within the week. We'll see about that. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful time. I'll see you guys in the next one.